mayor of the city. I'm running for mayor because I believe that there's nothing more important in our community than public safety. I also believe that the mayor of the city, Mayor Sullivan, has a responsibility to inform the public anytime he's aware of a public safety threat. Right now, we have a serious public safety threat in the city. It concerns the BAT bus system, the local bus system. What happens is when you get on the bus, before the door even closes sometimes, the driver starts moving the bus into traffic. And you're standing at the fare box with holding 2 shopping bags. You're trying to hold on for dear life without falling because the bus is moving. You're trying to insert money into the pay your fare with your other hand. And the whole time you're in fear of falling down and getting hurt when you fall to the floor of the bus. And if the bus driver has to hit the brakes for any reason, then you're going to go right into the windshield of the bus. This has been going on for quite some time. I've been a victim of this 3 times. I personally witnessed this happen to young children. I've seen it happen to mothers with a couple of young kids standing with her at the fare box. And you can see them standing there. They're in fear of moving because they don't want to get hurt and fall down on the bus. And the driver is oblivious to all this. And I've talked to a lot of bus drivers and bus passengers in the city, and every person has a horror story about the bus, or things they've witnessed on the bus and things they've experienced. Now, it's happened to me a few times now. Once you get past the fare box and you try to find a place to sit, you're walking down the aisle of the bus, you're going around baby carriages and shopping carts, and remember, the bus is moving the whole time. And I'm disabled. I'm 67 years old and disabled. And if I fall, I could get seriously hurt. And what happens is they hit the brakes and your whole body jolts backwards. And you just reach out and you try to grab a hold of a metal bar, a seat on the bus. I've even grabbed a hold of other passengers to stop myself from falling. And this has been going on for quite some time. I have reported this to both the mayor's office and I've reported this to BAT management. I've reported 50 individual incidents that I witnessed this happening. And it's called driving to endanger or driving distracted. And it is illegal in Massachusetts. There's a yellow line on the floor of the bus. And Massachusetts law says the driver should not move the bus, operate the bus, as long as people are forward of the line. When they get past the line, that's when they're supposed to move the bus. And I reported these incidents to Mayor Sullivan and BAT, the bus company. I gave them bus numbers. They checked the video on each bus. And also each bus has voice control too. They checked the video on each of my bus, 50 incidents that I reported. And 49 of those incidents, they reported that they were valid. They validated them. They actually happened as I state. Now, I want to explain to you what 49 drivers means who violated the law. According to the BAT's website, they have less than 100 employees. 49 of their drivers have been found guilty by them of violating the law and threatening the safety of passengers. 49 of them. That's how widespread this is. This isn't an issue of 1 or 2 drivers doing something crazy. This is widespread within the company. Now, the next point I'm going to address with you is I'm going to tell you about an incident that happened. You're not going to believe this incident, but it is true. Everything I'm telling you today is documented. I have over 300 emails to back up everything I'm stating. Now, what happened is it concerns the plot to kill me. This is a frightening and scary example that proves that some of the bus drivers actually honestly feel that they have the right to drive to endanger passengers' lives. It also proves without a doubt that BAT management is going to have an extremely hard time trying to get these 49 drivers to drive safely and break the habit that they're in of driving in an unsafe way. On Sunday, April 30th, a bus driver, his name is Mr. Guy D. Pierre, P-I-E-R-R-E. He's also the vice president of the local 1547, the Bus Drivers Union. He approached me on a bus this Sunday afternoon. On a Sunday afternoon, he said he wanted to talk to me. So when the bus stopped at the next stop, he called me to the front of the bus. He gave me his business card, and he shook my hand and introduced himself. He said that he knows who I am. He said he's had access to all my complaints. And he said the problem is that the bus drivers have been doing this for so long, driving with the yellow line, that it's a habit. They do it automatically. They can't break this habit. He also told me that management of the bus company, when they train the drivers, they'd never address the issue of the yellow line, which I find hard to believe because it's been a law for so long. So that's what the problem is. So this Sunday, he also told me that if I don't stop complaining to management when I see the bus drivers driving in a threatening manner to threaten the lives of the passengers, and if those drivers receive their 4th disciplinary letter, which means they'll be terminated, that those drivers know who I am and they will come after me. Now, I took this to mean that these drivers are not going to come up to me and shake my hand and take me out to lunch. They're going to kill me, or they're going to seriously hurt me. Anyway, I reported this to the police. I have the police documents. I reported this to the Attorney General's office. I have the documents for this. Now, BAT, Mr. Michael Lambert, the administrator of BAT, he emailed me that BAT checked the video and the sound on this bus where this incident occurred with myself and Mr. Pierre. And they stated that they took disciplinary action against Mr. Pierre according to their collective bargaining agreement. Now, I don't know about you, but I would love to know what the penalty is for a bus driver, a vice president of the union no less, to know that there's a plot to kill or harm a 67-year-old disabled passenger and not immediately report this to local law enforcement, or at least their bosses, their supervisors at BAT. This guy knew about this threat and he never reported it to the police. About 2 weeks later, on May 15th, I received an email from BAT General Manager, Mr. John Whitmore. He sent me a lengthy email. He sent me a lengthy email, and he made 5 comments that I think that are important, that will stress what the problem is. And what they did is that the bus company admitted everything I stated. They admitted this. He made 5 comments. The first comment he made, he said, "We are doing everything in our power to stop these illegal incidents from occurring." He stated, "We have addressed all situations with the bus drivers individually and taken action against them according to standard operating procedures and our collective bargaining agreement." He stated, "We agree the bus is not to move while passengers are forward of that yellow line." And he further said, we agree, and we're in agreement that we have drivers violating that law." He then stated, "I have expressed our apologies and our commitment to moving forward to ensure that the drivers do not lose focus and keep following the laws and policies set in place to keep passengers safe." His 5th comment, he stated that BAT, this is going to be a long-term commitment for BAT. What's translated into English, what that last statement means is this problem is not going to go away in the next month or 2 or 2 or 3 months. This is going to be a long-term problem while they try to retrain 49 drivers, again, which is more than half the staff they have. 49 drivers, not 1 or 2, 49. That's how bad this problem is. They have to retrain those drivers. They have to break them of the habit they have of violating the laws and threatening passengers' lives. This is going to be a long-term event. It's not going to end anytime soon. That's why it's up to the mayor. He needs to address this with the people now so that people can be informed. They can take precautions to protect their life and the life of their children on the bus. Now, 2 days later, on May 17th, I received an email from Mr. Thomas Schiavone. He works for the Massachusetts Department of Transportation, MassDOT. They oversee BAT's operations here in Brockton in the towns of West Bridgewater, East Bridgewater, Avon, Stoughton, Abington, Rockland, Easton, and Hanson. All 9 communities, a population of 350,000 people BAT operates in. And even more shocking to me is, I screwed up right there. He stated to me that, anyway, the email that Mr. Schiavone sent to me, and I have that on a copy of that too, which you're entitled to, I'll let you see it. He said, "Mr. Ripley," that's me, "Mr. Ripley, I want to thank you for your persistence in raising the issues that you experienced in using the BAT bus. I would concur that your tenacity has resulted in a positive outcome that will ensure the safe transportation to BAT riders here in Brockton." Now, a normal person like you or I would interpret those statements by the bus company, by MassDOT, and the plot to kill me as proof positive that there is a serious public safety threat on the bat buses in this city at the moment. But not Mayor Sullivan, nor Police Chief Perez, nor City Council President Nicastro. They completely ignored my emails, and I sent them emails begging and pleading with them to please. I want to prevent a tragedy. I don't want to see a young innocent kid or an elderly person or anyone for that matter get hurt because they haven't been informed by the mayor to please be careful. All the mayor has to do is go issue a citywide alert or do a press conference or put a notice on the websites and on billboards and radio and TV stating the truth that BAT has a problem. BAT's having a problem with their drivers. They're retraining their drivers. They're driving in a dangerous way. You need to be aware so when you get on the bus, if the driver starts to move the bus, don't be afraid to tell them to stop to move the bus. That's all it will take. But the mayor, for some reason, refuses to do this. Even more shocking to me is the fact that Brockton School Superintendent Michael Thomas, I sent him an email. I asked him a question. I have that email also. I said, Mr. Thomas, do you agree that the Brockton School Department has a duty to inform the parents of the kids who take BAT buses to school of this threat that awaits their children on the bus? Mr. Thomas ignored me. He gave me the same silent treatment that the rest of the city and the administration have given me. Now, I want to say to Mayor Sullivan and his partners in crime right now, silence is violence. By your remaining publicly silent on this issue, you are condoning and you are encouraging the drivers to continue threatening the lives of passengers. In my opinion, the mayor's failure to act was and is criminal. Now, unlike Mayor Sullivan, I love kids. I think kids are fantastic. They're so innocent. They're so full of life. We must protect the kids, our children. Now, Mayor Sullivan chose not to protect your kids. He knows what the problem is. He's decided that you don't have a right to know. This is what I've been fighting for 5 months. Now, I would like to ask everyone listening to do me a favor. Just for 5 seconds, just close your eyes. Imagine the following. It is a typical Tuesday afternoon. You're up, you're getting breakfast ready for your kids, you're getting your kids ready for school, you're planning your day, you're going to go shopping at Market Basket, or you're going to go visit friends across town. Now imagine Mayor Sullivan sitting in his office at City Hall. He knows that people all over the city are getting on buses to go about their day. He knows for a fact the threat that awaits these people, but he does not care. He feels it is not his problem. That attitude is exactly what I am fighting for your rights and been fighting for 5 months and will continue to fight for. Also, according to Sidney Marrow, Mayor Sullivan's chief of staff, Mayor Sullivan is chairman of the bus company's advisory board for Brockton and the 9 surrounding towns around Brockton. Therefore, I'd like to ask 2 questions to the mayor right now. Our first question is, how much are you paid to protect BAT at the expense of public safety in Brockton? And second question, would it be fair to say that any money you are paid is nothing more than a bribe? In his State of the City address, Mayor Sullivan stated that he wanted to help Brockton's immigrant community by giving them the tools they need to assimilate and live in the city of Brockton. I would say to Mayor Sullivan that Brockton's immigrant community certainly needs to be made aware of the fact that their physical safety is in danger when they put their kids on a bus. Now, these people, these immigrants from Cape Verde and Jamaica and all the other islands, they did not come to Brockton, Massachusetts to die on a bus because the bus drivers threaten their lives and the mayor refuses to tell them about the issue. That is not why they came here. Now, I would further say to Mayor Sullivan that your refusal to act responsibly and inform the people is a violation of the trust that the people of Brockton must have with you. They have to be able to trust that you will do the right thing when it comes to public safety. And right now, as far as I'm concerned, you don't have that trust. And once the people of Brockton hear about all this, I think they're going to think the same thing. And also, I think as a result of your breaking this bond with the people, I'm asking you to immediately call a press conference and report that you will not be running for mayor of Brockton for a 3rd term. In my opinion, you're not fit to be mayor. If you fail at public safety, then you've failed. You've had your chance, call it a day and go home. Give someone else a chance. Now, I want to quickly, for 15 seconds, I want to address the Brockton Enterprise, the local newspaper, and WATD, South Shore News Radio. I want to say to them, address them, the fact that both of you refused to report that BAT, the largest transportation hub in the region, over 1 million riders a year, that they have admitted in writing that their drivers are in violation of the law. They've admitted their drivers are threatening the passengers' lives. And you have refused to address this with the public. You are the source for news for the people in Brockton and the surrounding towns. They trust what you say on air. You have a duty to report this, and you did not do this. You violated the trust of the people. The people have a right to know that this is going on. And I wanted to say to you that you need to start doing your job. Now I want to just say and give you a small list of the people I've talked to try to address this problem. I called the Massachusetts State Senator Brady's office. I called United States Congressman Stephen Lynch's office. I talked to the state police. I talked to the FBI. I talked to the Attorney General. I talked to the Plymouth County District Attorney. I talked to Governor Healey's office. They were a little helpful. They gave me some numbers to call, but those numbers didn't pan out. I also talked to the office of United States Senator Elizabeth Warren in Washington, D.C. I spoke to the Ed Markey's office, United States Senator Ed Markey's office, also in Washington, D.C., and I called the White House in Washington, D.C. And everywhere up the line, from the city of Brockton right up to the U.S. Capitol, nobody would help me on this issue. Everybody gave me the same silent treatment, the same issue. Oh, it's a public issue, we can't help you. Nobody helped me, even when I told them about the threat to my life. Nobody asked me for any documents to say what's going on. They just gave me the runaround. It was a complete breakdown in our public officials to address a valid, legitimate safety issue. Now I want to say to the people of Brockton, First I want to go to, on June 25th, I went to the mayor's office downtown. And I did this, I challenged him to publicly debate me on this issue of the bat buses. I wanted to have a public debate. We'll take questions from the public, we'll answer their questions, and we'll let the people of Brockton decide whether they have a right to be told by you of this threat on the buses. After all, they're the ones that are being threatened. You're not being threatened. Your kids don't take the bus. And then on June 30th, 5 days later, I happened to be at City Hall. I was turning in my signatures to be certified for my run for mayor of Brockton. I noticed Mayor Sullivan was sitting outside with 5 of his aides, sitting outside in City Hall Plaza. I approached the mayor. We had a short conversation. In that conversation, the mayor agreed to debate me on this. Now, I want to say this now, Mayor Sullivan, I know you're listening. I'm hoping you take this seriously, and this is not, and don't treat this as a political game or a political ploy. This is serious. This is life and death for the people of Brockton when they get on the bus, particularly the disabled, the children, and the elderly community. This is a life and death issue. I want you to take this seriously, and I hope we have this debate, because I have a ton more information to go over. This information I'm giving you tonight is just the tip of the iceberg. I have over 300 documents with much information that I will be addressing at our public debate. I want to say now to the people of Brockton, we live in the United States of America. That means that you have freedom of speech, which includes the right to address your concerns with your elected officials, including the mayor, the city council, and the people over at City Hall. And you have the right to expect a timely response from them. I will tell you now, though, they count on you being afraid and not holding them accountable. They count on that. And they count on it because that's how it works. And also I want to tell you, do not be afraid to contact the mayor's office or your city council. Never forget, they work for you. They don't work for the mayor. They like to think they do, and the mayor wants you to think they do, but they all work for you. And never forget, Brockton City Hall is the people's building. It's your building. Your tax money paid for that building. That's your building. Now, I believe also that I want to say that whether I make it to the mayor's office or I continue to be a Brockton activist, I pledge right now to fight for you. To get answers for you. While I cannot guarantee that I will win every battle on your behalf, I will say that I will do my best. I will give it the good fight. Nobody will fight harder for your right to know. I will make your voices heard in the office and hallways at City Hall. I also believe it's time to shake up City Hall and remove the deadwood, the hangers-on who've forgotten that they're there to do the people's business. In that spirit, I would like to get your thoughts on organizing a combination public safety accountability rally at City Hall Plaza. I urge all of you to get involved and vote in the preliminary election on September 19th and the general election in November. Remember, Brockton is your city. It is your home. You must make your voices heard in the election. Vote for the people who you think will do the best for you, support you. Every vote counts. I want to end by saying that I need your help. I cannot fight this battle alone any longer. We need to show Mayor Sullivan that you, the people of Brockton, care about your rights. That you, the people of Brockton, care about your safety. That you, the people of Brockton, care about your kids and your loved ones' safety on a public bus. Therefore, if you believe as I do, that Mayor Sullivan has a responsibility to inform you about any and all threats to public safety, not just the public buses, but any threats. And if you believe, as I do, that the people of Brockton have a right to expect a timely response to their legitimate concerns from the mayor, then also, if you believe that my words today were important and helpful to you, please contact me. Finally, I want to say this. Make no mistake here. If you ride the bus in Brockton and the 9 surrounding communities of Bridgewater, East Bridgewater, West Bridgewater, Abington, Hanson, Easton, Avon, and Rockland, Mayor Sullivan and his partners in crime, they do not care about your safety or your children's safety. They proved this. They do not care. If they cared, they would have told you about this. They would have ordered the citywide alert to warn the parents. They didn't do that. But I do care about your safety. So I'm telling you, if you get on a bus and that bus driver moves that bus before you find a seat, you don't be afraid to say very loudly, "Stop this bus." It could save your life. Thank you for allowing me to speak with you today. I want to give a special thanks to our veterans and members of the military. Thank you for your service. God bless America. I also want to say